Hello everybody and welcome to the first ever Targa Virginia. This is a 3-hour endurance race and I'm your commentator Liam Jenkins. I'm sure you're looking forward to this just as much as I am, so without further ado, let's get this underway. So this is a track that the drivers will be navigating their way around. This is the Grand East circuit and measures at 4.07 miles long. It contains everything a driver wants, to be honest, including a twisty intersection that's not normally part of the circuit. And what better way to experience a circuit that you don't quite know much about or want to get more familiar with than to go on an onboard lap with the number 70 Billy Smith in his pole position lap in his Ford GT. So as we ride on board then with Billy Smith the second in the Ford GT, as you hear the engine roar into life as it heads in towards turn 1. Of course there are some key corners here, this being one of them. Brake very late, just around 20 yards away from the corner, hug the apex slightly to sweep the car around and launch it into turn 2, which is pretty much a mirror of turn 1 but on the left hand side, so it's important to hold your line here if you want to make an overtaking move on the inside perhaps. Out of the corner early on the throttle, careful not to lose the back end of the car before heading into another left hander. It's flicking the car right now to exit a chicane complex. So now he's coming up towards some traffic, but luckily it gets out of the way so it won't harm his lap time, and Billy Smith still ends up on pole position. In towards turn 7 then, it's a very tough place to pass due to slow traffic. 7, 8, 9 and 10, this whole chicane complex will be very tough during the race and we could see multiple incidents here. But as he goes up towards Oak Tree then, it's a very symbolic corner on this circuit. Heavy braking before sweeping the car around, and once again more traffic gets in the way, this time in the term of an MX-5, but luckily again it shouldn't harm his lap too much. So on to one of the first back straights then, prime slipstreaming opportunity. Everyone here will be looking to try and get the maximum draft off the back of their competitors as they go up the hill before pretty much blind braking into a corner. You have to guess and have your wits about you if you've never driven this circuit before. Sweep it right round, so easy to lose the back end there, but luckily nothing stopped Billy Smith there from setting a pole lap. So I'm now in towards turn 13 and you cannot see the braking point, and if one car in front of you makes a mistake when you're in a train, it is going to harm your time to an incredible amount. So luckily Billy Smith has been on fire and you can see he's going to be a major competitor in this race as he flings the car around the circuit in no hassle at all. The car's just dancing over the curbs here at Targa Virginia. So the inner loop has a few blind corners that you don't really know what's on the other side here. It's just pretty much luck. You have to have your driver instincts about you. Now Billy Smith has pretty much got those nailed. As you can see, it's almost like drifting it around that corner. But he's done exceptionally well, and if everyone can drive like that, then we're going to see a brilliant race here. But anyway, Billy Smith then around the final corner and onto the back straight, just set a fantastic pole position time of a 2 minutes 28 seconds .786. So let's just go through the order then. Matthew Labb will be on the pole position for the Radicals class, and he's been extremely quick already, topping timesheets here, there and everywhere in the practice sessions. He's from Eastern Canada and is privately entered, so it'll be very interesting to see just what this young man can do during the race. And I fear that there could be some competition to be the best in Canada, as George Genot takes second position during the qualifying session, who again is also from East Canada. So he's also privately entered, so it'll be very interesting to see just who is the best in that region. These two both extremely good racers, so we could see some fantastic battles during the race. And the third fastest man on the track was Jacob Demarice. He was, of course, with slipstream racing and having heavy battles with Labbe through all the practice sessions. So with that many cars on track, you can just never write off this young man. And we could see a huge battle for the lead. 3 very quick races around a very challenging circuit. So all will be played out in the end, and I don't think I can pick the winner at this stage. So let's just go through the order then. Of course, Bolster will start in P4 just behind his teammate Demarice. So those two will try and avoid contact at all costs, and one man you will want to watch out for is Maurice Dietzel, currently signed 7th, but he's 9th in the iRacing Radicals Championship, so he'll definitely be one to watch out for as he knows these cars like the back of his hand. So Phil Daly just behind him and not too far behind as well, but further back through the field, Ted Sevens, Chris Moran and John Hill round out your Radical qualifying results. And your man on pole position in the 4GT class, of course, is Billy Smith II, and he's been so much quicker than the rest of the field this week. He's the only 4GT guy to break the 2-minute 30 mark out of everyone who entered, so you never know, we could see him mix it up with the Radicals and get right in the thick of the action. Sitting in second position is Jasper Grombeck from the Netherlands. He's also actually in the top 10 in the official iRacing Prototype GT Challenge, so he's definitely going to be one to watch, and he knows what it's like to compete at the highest level of motorsport. And rounding out the top 3 is John Mallia, the latest entered driver in the series. He hasn't had very much practice in these cars, but is exceedingly quick. The American from New York is also a regular 4GT runner, so knows these cars very well. So here is the full starting grid then. If you notice that P2 to P8 are all within the same second of each other, so extremely close out there on the track at the moment. Chieti 4th from Italy, Pisky in 5th, and Drusco with the Motorsport Media team in 6th. Cloutier's 8th, and he's actually a real-life endurance racer, so it'll be great to see what he can bring to the sim. And Meyer is in P10 at the moment for Slipstream Racing. And the rest of the field, Bootle is in 11th for Robertson Racing. So with the field this close, it'll be great to see what happens during the course of the race. So on to the Mazda MX-5 class, and your pole sitter is Rory King. He's been much quicker than the competition all week through every single practice session, and he's from England as well, so he's been looking extremely strong, and it wouldn't surprise me if he went all the way in this race. And starting alongside Rory, we have Justin Mitchell, who starts in second place, and he's again another real life racer who participates in endurance of races at VIR, so it'll be very interesting to see what those two will get up to off the line and who will come out of turn 1 in the lead. And your third place man is Nick Leap, who qualified third fastest for the virtual Apex Racing team, who's from Wisconsin, so I'm sure again he'll be looking to take advantage if perhaps Justin and Rory make a bit of contact, then I'm sure he'll be more than happy to capitalise. So here is the provisional MX-5 starting grid, and as you can see it's extremely close. P3 to 6 all within the same second, much like the 4GTs, so that's made for some very fierce competition indeed during the practice sessions. P4 is Beckermans with 9 Lives Racing, and Lenzi is P6 just behind. In the Team Northwest, his teammate Wally will start in P12 just behind Nassos in P11, so the Greek will be looking to get a good start. There are 39 cars, 13 in each category, but only 3 winners, 1 from each class. So as we get ready to get underway and go green flag in hour 1. So it's just a matter of time then before this session gets underway, as you see the Radicals leaving their grid slots. And one important point to make, Gord Janot, the second place man on the Radical grid, is not on the formation lap, so there could be a mechanical problem there, and we'll keep you updated on that one. So that will leave Matthew Labby as the only man on the front row, which is a very good start for him. That's a dream start for him, so he's got a clean launch off the line and no pressure from, well, for a good half a second or so behind him. And so the drivers were told in the meeting to run the lap in single file. So the cars are coming up around to complete the pace lap and go side by side as the field will prepare to bunch up to go green flag for 3 hours at Targa Virginia. It's a long race, and the last thing you want to do is go out in an early incident. So these guys just want to try and make it to the end of the race all in one piece if that's possible. You know, it's not about who's the quickest here, it's just about survival. As long as you keep consistent lap times, you should be able to keep up with the rest of the guys in your class. So as we prepare to go green flag, don't you see Matthew Labby, the only man there? That's quite disappointing. I mean, Ganot would have had a great chance. Pace car comes in then, as you see it, ready to take off in toward the pit lane. And we're just ready to go green flag now, and it looks like Matthew Labby's straight on the accelerator. We predicted that, and it's side by side for second and third at the moment. But right now it's all looking good down the home stretch, over the bump into turn 1. Hopefully there will be no catastrophe. So it looks like Labby's got a great lead. He's held his line well. No pressure whatsoever from Di Maurice. And as the cars all fly through turn 1, it's a car wide there that looks like Kevin Brown. Yeah, Kevin Brown definitely wide, but apart from that, it's all looking quite good at the moment. So Labby already, it looks like he's got a large lead as the MX-5s flow through turn 1. You can see it's a good half a second already, if not 8 seconds. So fantastic stuff here at Targa Virginia. We've only had 2 corners, and Matthew Labby has got his mind and his eyes set on the prize, because he's just going flat out right now. Nothing's holding him back. No one can catch him for that matter. The number 34, as you see then. So as the cars come up towards Oak Tree in just a matter of seconds, so through very quickly through the far chicane complex. And then so let's just take a look at Labby then. Down the hill he goes in towards Oak Tree, and just look at the gap he's got. That's a good 2 seconds already. So round he goes. Let's take a look through the order then. Labby goes through. Dimery's second. Rivard up to 3rd from 5th place. Great start. Brown after a moment to 4th. Bolster 5th. Dietzel 6th. Goes slightly wide. Daly, Hammett even. Miller and 7s. Now with the 4 GT start to come through. Smith the second still wins. Chieti is in second at the moment. Malia 3rd. Hill is a radical caught up down there. Peasky 4th. As they all start to come through, we wait for the MX-5s now. King is already out to a huge lead there for the Englishman. Mitchell 2nd, Leap 3rd, Veckerman's 4th. Lawson is in 5th place, Lindsay 5th, and then as they all go through. So let's have a look at Lawson then, P6 trying to pass Lindsay at the moment as they go in towards the bitch there, side by side. It's a drag race at the moment. It looks like Lawson's going to make the move. He's got the inside line, but he's got to be careful. He's got cars all around him. So number 26 up the inside. And it's going to be a very tight move. He can pull it off though. He's still with the line. Then yeah, Lindsay's gone a bit wide. Touch contact a bit. Yeah, the 36 gone off track. Manages to hold it together. But through goes to number 5. So Woodson's able to get past, keeping Lawson way down now in 6th place. And now those two are side by side. But yeah, so that's a great move there. So Woodson goes up there in the number 15. So it's all going pretty well at the moment. Pretty clean, as in no major incidents as we talk at the moment. So let's just go on board then with John Malia in the 4 GT cars. He's actually currently following. He's 3rd at the moment, so he's got Groenweg and Smith directly in front, and he's just want to try and keep his calm and wait for them to make a mistake and hopefully capitalise on it. So right now it's all looking pretty tidy. It's just great to see the speeds these cars fly at. 4 GTs sound so nice anyway, but especially when they're put to the test on a circuit as mentally and physically demanding as this. Down the home straight they come to complete their first lap, and as you see there, that looks like Billy Smith going towards the inside. And is there going to be a move there? Doesn't look like it. Billy Smith the second is doing a great job in P2 at the moment, having slipped from the lead, so he's going to want to try and take that one back. So it's all again looking pretty. Oh, there's smoke in the background there actually. Has a yellow flag out. And so not sure. Oh, it's Andrusko. That's Trevor Andrusko for Motorsport Media Racing. And I'm not sure what's happened there. He can't get it going again. He's struggling to get back on track. Yeah, he's beat shit on the curb. I think that could be the end of his race. Let's take a look at the replay. So it's Trevor Andrusko is under a bit of pressure there from Cloutier. That looks like the endurance racer. Yeah, a bit of contact, and he's just spun Andrusko. There was nothing that he could do about that. That wasn't his fault at all. I think that was just a tiny bit too deep. Let's take a look at Greg Cloutier's move. Then he goes up the inside. I think he brakes a bit too late, locks the actual front brakes, and just clips the back end. I think perhaps Andrusko's just gone in a bit too quickly there and turned in. Could be a bit of both, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, but either way, that has not gone well for Andrusko. So, but Cloutier's unharmed, up to P7 at the moment then, so it's worked out okay for him. He's got no damage as we know of yet, but there could be something more longer term during the actual course of the race. But right now it's all looking pretty good. He's just got to focus on trying to get to 6th place. Here's a long event. There's another yellow flag now. So I'm not sure what that's for. So there's carnage here in the opening laps. And let's take a look at the replay. That's Bill Daly in the Radicals class. So what's happened here then? So he's just taken a bit too much curb. And yeah, lost the back end. Tried to keep out of the wall, but couldn't quite do it and hit the other one. So he did a great job saving it, but I think that's ended his race prematurely maybe. So here's Maurice Ditzel then, P4 at the moment. So he's doing pretty well actually. He's a number 81. He's just going to try and focus on catching the cars in front of him. So he's trying to actually catch Bolster with Rivard right behind them. So this should be a battle that's going to heat up very shortly as we get very close towards, you know, a very defining point in the race where the cars will start to get into their own rhythm. So a move here will be very important. He's going to try and keep his cool and look for the opportunity. You don't want to go risking it here at the moment. So Dietzel trying to chase Bolster. So we'll keep an eye on that one, how that plays out. And this could be interesting. Now this is your race leader, actually, Matthew Labby, and he's actually getting extremely close to the MX-5, so there will be difficulty to pass, especially as they go through corners like Oak Tree and the Bitch. But hopefully that, you know, there won't be too much drama there. But Di Marie actually may close in on this because he will have some trouble, and he's just trying to fight to the inside. Goes past 3 there as they approach one of the back straights, but Di Marie will close up from that. So, yep, Labby still holds lead at the moment. He's in a class of his own right now. And as long as he can hold that, then he should have no problems for the opening stint of the race. Still a long way to go yet, though, so is an onboard view showing Lawson at the moment as Labby goes past. And so he's just carving his way through this field. It's delightful to see, just ducking and diving, weaving in and out, just streaming past these MX-5, and it looks absolutely magnificent, just the way it can weave and almost dance around the MX-5. So he's doing a great job at the moment, the number 34. See, up the inside there, no problem. Bit of dirt there, looked like, by one of the MX-5s, but hopefully no trouble. Again, so there's another 2. Hopefully you don't want to get in. The only thing we're lapped in, though, is you don't want to get in the way of a battle. If you're trying to get past cars, you don't want to kind of interrupt the battle or let it end badly. So just got to be careful. So now we switch to the number 21. And this just shows how close Di Marie is. He's not too far away, to be honest. He's still carving his way through. But he's got to be careful, though, because he's got a few cars behind. He's just passed Bill Daly. And the MX-5s can't just move over, though, because they're having a race of their own, as I pointed out. So Di Marie at the moment is 10 seconds away from your race leader, Matthew Labby. But he's carving his way then round Oak Tree. That's a bit risky. I mean, there's a lot of traffic. You don't really understand how much there is until you see a view as widespread as that. So these radical drivers have to be 100%, you know, mentally focused, because if they're not, just 1 ounce loss of concentration, even though they're lap cars, you can still potentially ruin your own race and other people's. So very important to keep your head here, and that's exactly what these radical drivers are doing right now. It's just great to see them, you know, they're all just, the Mazdas are being very respectful actually. They're not trying to block them or hold them up in any way. So yeah, that's a fantastic move there. You can just see it really is beautiful, especially if you played it back in slow motion. Put some nice music to it, you know, it really would look great. So let's have a look on Rivard then. He's currently P5 behind Dietzel and Bolster. So he's with the Lions Autosport at the moment. He's doing quite well. Not he can catch them. There's a bit of slide. Oh, he's gone off. He's gone off. Oh, he's clipped the barrier. And that's going to be a huge impact there for Zachary Rivard. I'm not sure if he's going to keep it going. The yellow flag out. And, well, it doesn't look like he's got too much damage at the moment. But, yeah, he's veering to the left. You can see there he's struggling to keep it in a straight line. Let's take an action replay then. Over the hill he comes, taking a bit too much throttle. Lost the back end as he tried to correct it. Pretty much power slid. The back end swerves the other way. Nothing he can do by this time. And the back end collides with the tyre barrier. Huge impact there. And that's unfortunately race over for Rivard in 5th place. This early on as well. It's not the way you want to go. So it's P3 Nick Leap then in the Mazda class. Oh, and he spun it. Oh, and that's a huge disappointment. Luckily, I think he'll keep it out of the wall. Bit of contact that shouldn't harm his car too much. But it could be a bit damaged. It's nothing major, but it was a very, very unfortunate spin. And whether he'll manage to try and recraft his race is a bit awkward. But now we take a look at Valerio Chieti, who's P3 at the moment in the Ford GT class. Heavy on the braking then into turn 1. Oh, and he's gone very deep there. He's touched outside. Oh no! And that has allowed Malia to get past. And now he's still got to try and chase Smith the second and Gromberg with the added challenge of Malia as well. So John Malia has actually done a really good race so far. He's kept his head, as we've said. You know, it seems to be a key saying, but it really is about concentration here, especially a 3-hour race as well. You don't really understand how hard it is until you've driven one. And it's another yellow flag. I'm not sure what this is for. Oh, and that's Michael Gray, the number 89. I think that's the Australian Michael Gray. Yeah. Formula Sim race. Oh, yes, Trevor Andrusco's off again. Upside down goes the Ford GT. What's happened here then? So Michael Gray's come over the bump and Andrusco's just behind him. Andrusco's gone for the move. Oh, he's hit the back end of Michael Gray, and there was no patience there. Andrusco slammed into the barrier for his second incident of the day. I think that's going to be race over, perhaps. So here you go. This is riding on board then with Malia. Is he? Oh, he's gone past the bitch. Oh, he's gone right into the barrier. Oh, and that's very unfortunate. I'm not sure if that was a brake issue or whether he's just miscalculated the braking point. I think that's possibly ruined his race. Here's Remo Piski then. He's chasing down Chieti, and there is Chieti again going wide. You see the Norwegian flag flying high at the moment. And both, you can see the car's a little bit damaged out. Yeah, the Norwegian flag going well, and it's flying high. A podium spot here would be fantastic. So it's all going well at the moment for Piski, or Pixie even, I beg your pardon. So it really is, you know, the 4 GTs seem to be very quick, and you know, if the radicals keep going, you know, a bit off or something like that, I mean, especially, you know, with Ambrosco, if he does make another mistake, he could wreck another race, such as Michael Gray, who had no part in that. It's just Ambrosco's lack of patience, and that's potentially interfered with an MX-5 race. If that does happen with the radicals, then that could have catastrophic effects for the finishing of the race. And so past traffic he goes. There's a radical in the pits there, it looked like. Right now, that number 56 Norwegian there is looking pretty helpful. There's a car off there. I think that's Charalimpu off in turn 1. So it's not the way he's wanting to go. A lot of these cars starting to go off now. Oh, it's a big car off there. I'm not sure. I think that's Woodsid goes off in front of Remo, and that's the last thing he wanted to do while trying to carve his way through traffic. So that's what we do now. So I think that's Lawson in the barrier for the MX-5, and that is very unfortunate, and luckily he didn't collect anyone. Yeah, Jarrett Lawson, P6, bounce over the curb to take a replay. Again, lost the back end. A lot of these cars, what they're actually doing, I think, is because they're under pressure now to try and keep in position, they're actually losing time, they're losing the back end, so they want to push harder, and the harder they push, the less grip they have. And you can see the fight there by the radical of Labby in a comfortable lead. Just look how he almost drifts it essentially as he comes up towards the 4 GTs, passes Mayer, who actually had some damage earlier on, which is how he got on him so quick. So Labby through the very quick chicane. So great to see an onboard view here. You don't appreciate how quick these cars fly around this circuit, and it really is a fantastic circuit, as we've said. But Labby is looking in a game and a class of his own right now, as he's just dancing the car around the corner. There's no fight from it. He knows exactly what he's doing. So he's in a very comfortable lead right now as we get very close to the end of hour 1. So the Radical top 10 will be on screen very shortly. But it looks like Labby is going to lead at the end of the first hour. He's had a very comfortable race so far. He's just, look at the gap he's got. I mean, ever since turn 1, he's had an extremely good gap. Would it have been different if there was another car on the track? Maybe not. But Labby leads after hour 1. Dimery second, Dietzel third. 4th is Bolster, now Hammett 5th, 7th, 6th. Moran is up to 7th. Miller's 8th. John Hill is in 9th, and Bill Daly is down to 10th position. So Hammett's in 7th, so 2 teammates 5th and 6th for Virtual Apex Racing. But in the 4 GTs, it's Jasper Grunweg, who's still in front of Smith the second at the moment. Davis is up into 3rd after Malia, Chiati and Piski have problems, but I'm not sure whether they're still in the race or no and going competitive. It's all looking okay at the moment. The Mazda MX-5s, however, you know, is still Rory King, led from pole, is in a very comfortable lead right now. So Reed has actually inherited 3rd place after lead spin. Lawson's still 5th despite his accident, so he's been driving like a fantastically good race at the moment. And Charalimpu up to 6th from P11, even though he had a bit of an off moment at turn 1. So those are your positions. We head on to hour 2. So focusing there on Roy King, he's got a very large lead at the moment, just like Labby has in the Radicals class. You have to constantly keep an eye on cars approaching him there from behind, because otherwise, as we've seen with Michael Gray, it can get very messy and not in the way you want it to be honest. But right now Roy King's doing a good job, letting everyone through that needs to, and he's just holding his composure and doing a fantastic job. He's leading the race, and that's all you need to do, to be honest. Just keep your head in the game, treat it like a time trial, just drive consistently clean laps, you know. So number 44 is going very well at the moment. It'll be interesting to see though if any other MX-5s can catch him, unless there's an incident. I can't see it happening at the moment though. So it looks at the moment then like Groeneweg's passes, who's actually just been in the pits, and now Billy Smith II is in the lead of the race. So that's very interesting. So Billy Smith back in the lead after dominating practices all week, has managed to get himself back in the lead. So just looking at Roy King's race then, just, you know, he's going really well at the moment. He's, as we've said, he's in a class of his own, but there are cars coming up towards him. So Dimadi, I think, will be the next man to get past him. But he really is taking this in his stride. He's just hitting every apex every time, consistently clean. And here comes Dismaris, and he goes through without a whisker of contact there. So good job. So just switch to P2 and just look at the gap that there is. Oh, that's a huge gap. That is a huge gap there. Justin Mitchell, the number 25, or 95, I beg your pardon, is quite a way back. So that's a huge. This is literally a mirror of the Radicals class, so what Labe's doing way at the front of the field. So yeah, so Mitchell's just coming out of the intersection in towards the bitch now. So here comes Billy Smith then, and he passes cleanly. Almost looked a bit like could have been a bit of contact, but Billy Smith passes the GT leader, and he's going to want to try and keep that title for the rest of the race if he can. Bit of a bump there, however, by Justin Mitchell. He luckily controlled it, but if you do that and lose a bit of concentration, that'll be the last thing you want to do. There's a couple cars in the pits there, perhaps some problems, but hopefully they'll all get sorted and we'll have 39 cars finish the race, but I can't see that happening at the moment. You can see, I think that's in the background, that looks like Groeneweg, to be honest. If I'm not mistaken, so through turn 1 then goes Justin Mitchell in the MX-5. Yeah, Groeneweg's going up to him very, very close now, has to be said. So I think, you know, you're looking at 10 seconds maybe. But, you know, in this time, compared to the actual speed differences, the MX-5 seem quick, but compared to the 4 GTs, they are extremely slow. So here comes Groeneweg then. Let's hope that these two can sort things out, get things through, and resume with their normal races. The number 95 is going to have to get out of the way. It's a very hard place then as they go in towards the inner circuit. You're not going to want to try and pass through there, Groeneweg. So, oh, it's contact! Goes into the wall then, goes Justin Mitchell, and has shortly ended his race. Huge shunt up the behind there from Groeneweg. I'm not sure what Groeneweg's car's like. I think it's okay at the moment. It doesn't look like there's that much damage, but oh, that is very, very upsetting there then for Justin Mitchell. He was having a great race, and Groeneweg's just, like, maybe a lapse of concentration maybe. That cost him a race as he goes past Oak Tree. So yellow flag. At the moment, there's Justin Mitchell struggling, as you can see, along the side. You can get it back to pit road. They may be able to do something about it, but it's not looking promising right now for Justin Mitchell, who's actually off track again. He's come to a halt. Yeah, that could be the end of his race, I think. But Groeneweg, however, is still continuing. So race is over for Mitchell. Groeneweg carries on. And will he go into pit road? I don't think he will, actually. It doesn't look like the car's too bad. He's still going at a reasonably good pace, hitting the apexes, which is what he wants. No, doesn't pit into. Groeneweg stays out, but that's a very messy incident. So let's take a look at the replay then. Groeneweg coming up the inner circuit a bit too quickly, not realising Justin Mitchell's speed, and trying to go to the inside. Mitchell's already there, chose the wrong lane, up the behind then, and nothing Justin Mitchell could do. Groeneweg luckily didn't spin out, kept control of the car, but Justin Mitchell, however, was a bit unfortunate there and had to retire due to damage. There's a car off there. I'm not sure who that is. That's actually looks like that's the same replay. That's Reed off at Oak Tree. Yeah, Jesse Reed's off at Oak Tree. So he pulls into the auxiliary pit lane. So maybe we'll see a replay then. Yeah, here we go. So another MX-5 into. Oh, he's gone way too wide there. Maybe a bit of lack of brakes or not enough. Yeah, just hit the wall. So should be able to keep the car going and in the race, but nonetheless, that's going to cost him a huge amount of time. And so back to Matthew Labby, the leader then, still out front. And he comes in towards pit lane then, it looks like, as he comes in towards the final couple of corners. There's MX-5 in the way. Labbe trying to get to pit road, and sure. Oh, just MX-5 holding him up, and that's the last thing he wants. That's going to cost him time. Back to Dimali. We could see a race on our hands then, as long as his pit stop goes to plan. Dimali is well, quite a way behind. He's still going to have to pit even if he will pass Labbe, but this will help Dimali as opposed to if he didn't get stuck behind the MX-5. So here comes Dimali then, in towards the home stretch. There's Labbe in the pits. I think he's going to do it. There's not enough time. Dimali into the lead, and we'll see if he can finish here. He's still yet to pit though for the Slipstream Racing, and they're going to be quite happy at the moment. Their first time leading this race, so looking pretty good right now for Megas AC getting out the way of Reed. Oh, Reed has to brake very late again there, almost contact. And that's Jasper Groenweg, and it's a black flag then for car number 77. That is Jasper Groenweg, and so not sure what that's for actually. That's a stop and go for the contact with Mitchell. Yeah, so that's going to be a huge race changer for the 4GT class. But to be fair, I think that was very well deserved. He should not have gone up the inside line. There was no need for it at all. But that nonetheless, that's a huge changer now. As, he's one of the major contenders to take the win here. Peter has a yellow flag out, and I'm not too sure what's happened there. We'll take a look at the replay, and it's Sean Mayer for Slipstream Racing in the 4GT. Oh, he's blown the engine. Completely gone in the 4GT. And he's beached that one in turn 1. So hopefully that's just his problem, not an 4GT problem. So here comes Buchholz through the bitch then. And it's very hard to keep up with the car here. The MX-5's doing an exceptional job here to try and avoid contact with each other. Trying to chase Lawson in P2 then. This is for second position. Both have benefited actually from the other misfortunes of the other MX-5s. It's been a pretty close race, loads of intense action, and right now this is where the main battle's at. So let's see what happens here then. He's got the slipstream. Buchholz needs to try and get something going as they bounce over these curbs very unwillingly. They don't really like bouncing over curbs. You need to try and get as less of an apex as you can, but enough to try and get you a gain on the exit of the corner. And right now it looks like Buchholz is doing a great job. He's got a nice little run then on to the back of the number 26 car. He's not going to go up the inside this time, but we will keep an eye on that battle. So it's, we've got about, quite a while to go. We've got well over an hour to go at the moment. And big bounce over the cup. You can just feel the car almost go over. And if you do lose a bit of traction through there, it just takes, again, as we said, a lapse of concentration, and you can find yourself in the barrier within seconds. But right now he's got the slipstream then. So here comes Buchholz. He's got to make the move into turn 1. He has to do it, surely. He's got the inside line. As long as he doesn't now break himself, he's going to move up into second. They're side by side. The black car, the number 39, moves up into second. Buchholz with a great move there. There's pretty much nothing that Lawson can do in second except maybe get a nice exit. He's got a nice one. It's not quite good enough to come alongside. Great defending from Buchholz to hold the outside line. And that is second place then for Buchholz, who's done a great job of keeping his car on track. It's what we said at the start. Keep it on track, incident free, and you could well find yourself at the front of the field. So it's going well at the moment. But Buchholz is past Lawton for P2 then. So whether we can hold it or no is another matter, because right now it looks like Lawson's going to try and come back at him, and we switch back then to Billy Smith II exiting pit road. It looks like he still leads. Davis is in second place though after Groenweg's black tyre. Buttel's up to third. Groenweg is now P5, and Chieti is fighting his way back up the field as well. But Billy Smith II, has to be said, he's been dominant all weekend, and he's just managed to hold on. There you see the red and blue colours of Texas there, waving proud on his car as he flies around this Virginia circuit. But Chieti is fighting back at the field, so it will be interesting to see when he finishes. So almost then towards the end of the final hour, well, the end of the start of the final hour. So could this be the beginning of the end for someone, or perhaps a new beginning? We never know what's going to happen. The closing stages in the past in endurance racing have thrown up some of the most shocking, and no one could predict these results, so you never know what's going to happen. But right now Billy Smith is sitting in a pretty nice position as he crosses the line to start another lap. I think it's on average you guys will do around 60 laps of this track. So over the bump he goes into turn 1, heavy braking, hug the apex, and sweep it round for the launch onto turn 2. Of course we saw the pole lap with him, and this is pretty much, if he can mirror that, for 60 odd times, then well, he's doing that now, isn't he? So great place at the moment for Billy Smith in the prime. No one can take him out of this zone. He's been doing a fantastic job in the Ford GT at the moment. So as we pretty much near the end of the final hour then, or the second hour going into the final hour, things are going to heat up, I think. It's not going to be, if the last 2 hours are anything to go by, I'm pretty sure things are going to get intense. We've got a couple battles going on which could potentially affect the rest of the race. So just have to see where the other cars are in comparison at the moment, especially the MX-5 cars as well. That really has shown some fantastic racing at the moment, including plenty of incidents, some which have actually been caused by the Ford GTs and even the Vanco at one point. So across the line then goes Billy Smith to end the final hour. Matthew Labby leads at the moment in the Targa Virginia Radicals class. Demarly still second, Dietzel third, Bolster fourth, Miller fifth, Hammett is in 6th, Ted Sevens is in 7th, Moran is in 8th, 9th is Bill Daly, and 10th is John Hill. Ford GTs haven't really changed. Smith is still in first place, followed by Corey Davis, who's had a fantastic race so far, in second place. Jonathan Butel's up to third, Florian Utst is up to P4, Jasper Grunweg after that black flag is down to P5, Greg Cloutier after an actual couple incidents is in P6, followed by Chieti, and in the actual MX-5s then, Rory King still showing a dominant display at the moment. Chawalimpu's passed Buchholz for second, but this is on pit strategy, so nothing's set in stone yet. Reed's fallen down to 5th, but it's still King safely out in front. He was nearly a lap in front of everyone, so exceptional driving by the Brit. And in toward the final hour then, now things are going to really start to heat up. Straight away then on board with Bollister, who's trying to actually chase down Dietzel, who's going through the bitch at the moment then, going up the hill, bracing yourself for it. So he's gone a bit too wide, and I think, bit of a slide there, but I think, he's almost drifted that, big slide, but he's managed to hold on to it. So great driving there, and that just shows you the commitment and focus levels of these drivers. So he's going to be trying to chase down that Ford GT at the moment, but he looks like he's stuck behind Chieti instead of trying to chase down Dietzel, which is not what he wants to do. So he needs to try and get past that Ford GT as soon as possible, but of course they're not, they don't have to legally move over. So right now it's just trying to maybe pass him on the straights, because although there isn't much speed difference, there is enough to separate the classes, even though the cars can sometimes overlap. So have to see what this Radicals can do then. Right now it looks like it's being held up then by Chieti. Chieti's surely going to have to let him go as they come onto the home straight nearly. Bit of a big moment there by Chieti. He's managed to again save it. So a bit of a wiggle coming out of the chicane, but held onto it very well. He's pretty much sideways the whole way, but managed to keep onto it on the home straight then. The Radical is going to have the advantage. Bolster needs to try and shake away, Chieti as soon as possible into turn 1. They're going to go. I don't think he's even got enough room, but he's broke late. Surely he can go through the inside. Chieti's still not letting him go. Not sure how Bolster's going to be reacting to that one. He's not exactly going to be the happiest man on the planet right now. Tried to pull up alongside turn 2. Is he going to go through? Yes, he does. So finally got down. I think you'll get a bit of sense of accomplishment after that was really well contested by Chieti. So great start to the final hour then. He shook the Ford GT. Now I need to try and focus on catching Dietzel to try and move up another position. So now we're actually looking at Maurice Dietzel, the P3 man, So the drivers will start to get, really tired about now, start making silly mistakes if they're not careful. But Diesel trying it as well. Get past some traffic up the inside, and he's made that stick very nicely. But, you just need to keep composure. Maybe an energy drink, just on one of those drinking hats with the little straws. They can be very handy, and although it sounds stupid, a lot of sim racers use them. So you'll be surprised, actually. So concentration is the key here as we go in towards the final stages of the race. But right now, Diesel looking pretty safe, but Bolster is closing down slowly but surely, and there's still plenty of time for a race incident to actually change the course of the whole race for every class. So you never know what's going to happen in races like this, especially in the final hours. As he comes up to an MX-5, I'm sure he'll shake that off very easily indeed. The Radical's just got so much more power over the MX-5, tries it into the corner, doesn't want to wait, and a very sensible decision too there by Maurice Ditzel. So onto the home straight he comes in. Oh, and a yellow flag. We're about to find out what this is for. Oh, there's a Radical off. And that's Ted Sevens for Virtual Apex Racing. And I think that could be the end of his race. Perhaps, I'm not sure. So here he comes in. He's already got damage, you can see. It looks like he's got a wonky back wing. So in towards it, he just lost the back end. All frontwards into the wall. Scrapes it and slides across the track. That's not going to do the car or the tyres much good. Narrowly avoids Patrick Bolster then. So he's always, so it was Bolster. He managed to narrowly avoid that great drive manoeuvre in there, and if he wasn't, having his wits about him, he could have ended up in the wall in the same position. So here then is Jasper Groenweg P3 then, after moving up the field. So he really has kind of fought back from this and tried to give it his all. Not satisfied with P5, he wants to finish as high as he can, which is a natural driver instinct. Well, it has to be said that, Groenweg's doing a great job. So see, he's actually, going pretty pacey now. Radical's going to struggle to get past him, especially if you're racing for position as well. You don't want to get, let a Radical through and then let it hold you up. So into the pits then comes P4, or out the pits even, Jonathan Buter, who's P4 after, Groenweg's passing due to pit strategy, which is how he's kind of leapfrogged in. But right now, Buter again racing very keen. I don't think I've seen him in an incident all race, so things are going pretty well right now for the Ford GT car. As long as he can keep his wits, but maybe he can get, P3. I mean, Groenweg has had quite an incident-filled race. It's been quite a messy race for him, so you never know, there could be another one. There is a yellow flag on track. What's this for? I'm sure we'll see a replay very shortly. Oh, that's Lawson in the Mazda, who's gone off circuit, going to try and, oh, he's coming back on into traffic. That's very risky, but managed to somehow keep out of contact there. 3 wide then, going down a straight. But let's take a look what happened here then. Yeah, he's just taken too much, couldn't turn in time, and slams himself into the barrier. Reverses it straight away and gets going, but I'm not sure if he had a problem. So what's happened? He's taken too much curb there, approaching the braking point, and I think he just locked it and then bounced over the curb. Nothing he can do by that time. Into the barrier goes, and that's a heavy impact for the MX-5. So there's another yellow flag then, it looks like. Here's Nassov Charalimpu, the Greek, in the MX-5, up to 3rd place after starting in 11th. So he's had a great jump through the field. And 7th here then, so he's going pretty well at the moment. So he's actually spun, but he's recovered, so that was what the yellow flag was for. He had a bit of a moment, but he's got itself going again. So hats off there to Charalimpu. He's actually done a fantastic job. So I'm way at the back of the field, coming through everything, every incident that's occurred through the race, up to P3. Oh, and there's Diesel! Maurice Diesel P3, and that is definitely going to help the P4 man Bolster, who's trying to chase him down. But I think there's no damage. Yeah, it's just a bit of a spin, I think, but that is surely going to wreck his time, as now you could see Bolster coming around any second. So Bolster will have a nice smile on his face as he tries to chase down. He saw him in the background there, and that is a nice little handy few seconds which he wouldn't turn down. So right now, yeah, so here comes then, oh, it's contact there! No! And Diesel's ready to just gone from bad to worse. He just made contact with Giancarlo Lenzi, just like Groenweg and Mitchell, pretty much a mirror incident, the wrong line at the wrong time, and that has handed Botsu the actual place. So here comes the view from Lenzi, it's the replay, And what was that? So I think Lenzi just got a bit out of shape, and there was just no time to think for Dietzel, and he's just gone straight into the back of him without thinking, and that's very upsetting for both drivers. I think he may get it going again, but that's race over for Dietzel, and Bolster is up into third place after long and hard chasing him down. We said anything can happen, and it has happened. So Bolster will be one very, very happy man in the slipstream racing right now. The actual team's having a great race across all the classes, and well, it's very unfortunate for Maurice Dietzel, but you know, that's racing, and that's 3 times an incident like that has occurred now, I believe. Once with Michael Gray, and once with forgotten the name, I think it was Ambronsky. So here's Matthew Labby then, P1, the number 34, as he comes down the home straight. Now he's on his final lap, so you know, he's driving very cautiously, as you would expect, into turn 1. There's no need for pushing it now. He's driven some very, very solid laps, a very solid 3-hour race, so he won't want to lose it at the 2-hour 59 mark. So here comes Labby then, just cautiously. He's got a huge lead. He doesn't need to push like mad, and I think he realises that as long as he keeps it cleaner, the heart will be going mad and the adrenaline will start pumping. That thought of crossing the line will make the lap even longer than it would seem already, because this is pretty much the longest lap in a driver's life, driving an already long track to come home and take your victory. And it's actually said it's very well deserved as well. He's led from pole pretty much incident free, you know, away from everyone, no trouble from anyone whatsoever. It's almost a Vettel-esque drive is what we would call that one. But he's, you know, this is his 74th lap, so 70, well, I find, you know, 1 lap of this track difficult for me, so 74 is very respectable as he comes onto the back straight and will come up towards the bitch. There isn't much traffic on his final lap, and Di Maristo he's not too far behind, but I think he's far enough for Labbe to ease off a bit now. I think he deserves time to ease off, and I'm sure the champagne will be flying around his house now. So round the bitch he comes, and through the MX-5 traffic, that's Oak Tree, I beg your pardon, so over the bump. And that's a blind braking spot, and you know, very hard to see there. You have to guess and just hope the car goes with what you're trying to make it do. And Labby's just got that human-car relationship absolutely sorted. There's no fight from the car. He's just literally been dancing it round for 74 laps. Through the chicane complex he comes, you can see, flicking the back end out a little bit to get a little bit of drift on it. See, he's just so at one with the car. It really is beautiful to watch. And he's just hitting every apex cleanly and clean. He's almost getting cleaner every time. Well, no, he's not pushing greatly. He's doing a superb job. Still doing a highly competitive lap time here in the Radicals, so not long left now for Labbe to just kind of dance the car around into his double right hander now, flat out then down the home straight, and it's going to be Matthew Labbe will take victory at the Targa Virginia, one of the longest races, and he's won it. Fantastic job there, hats off, cannot applaud this man enough. He's done a great job and a very well deserved victory weave there by your race winner. Absolutely brilliant. So that's probably the best drive I've seen. Diz Maurice will finish second. Again, a great job. No incidents for him. And wow, it really is great. Elation is the word to describe Labbe's emotions right now. And so here comes Billy Smith then. He's starting on pole, dominated the practices across the line. Billy Smith will be your Ford GT winner, and a very happy man he will be too. The man from Texas. They say the stars at night are big in the bright, deep in the heart at Texas, and I'm sure he'll be very, very happy and singing that song with pride as he's brung home a win, and will dedicate that to his country, I'm sure, by, you can see just the pride of the Texas flag on his car. So, and it's going to be Rory King, the Englishman, the only Englishman who will win a race here today in the MX-5, bounces over the curb, trouble-free, almost like a Labbe-esque drive, if you'll pardon me there. So the number 44 has driven a fantastic, solid race, come through all the traffic, just let it all go, and we said consistency was the key, keeping your head down, and that was absolutely the case. He's coming down now in towards the final part of this circuit. Once again, Virginia has shown one of the most brilliant actual, you know, races I've seen in a while. So it really is a fantastic circuit. So much has happened here today, and you can just see what the circuit, you know, is there for. So much action can take place on just so little corners. You've got chicanes, you've got hairpins, right-handers, left-handers, you know, fast corners. You've got the bitch, one of the most big corners in motorsport. And so it's not over yet though. Josh Hammett is still fighting with Chris Moran for the line for P5, and I think he's done it. Yeah, and I think King will be a bit surprised by that one. Them two still going at race pace, but back to Rory King then. Obviously we'll do a nice little parade lap around this track. And plus he's a lap ahead of everyone else, so utter dominance there by the Englishman, and only one incident for the entire race. So that really is quite a big achievement for Rory King, and if this doesn't get him noticed by a team, I don't know what will. But Matthew Labby wins the race, followed by 21 seconds behind Jacob Dimmery. Patrick Bolster comes third after Dietzel's incident, and Dietzel still managed to bring the car home in fourth. Josh Hammett was fifth, Moran sixth, Stefan Miller seventh, Ted Sevens was eighth, and back down the field then is Kevin Brown after a huge lap. And then gorge or not, how different would the race have been if he'd have started. Billy Smith then wins the GT, and look at that, he's a lap in front of pretty much everyone there. So it really has been a great race for Billy Smith II. A dominant week for that matter, including the practice session. So you see, all drivers in the actual GT class seem to have finished, I believe. So, and in the MX5s, Rory King a lap in front of Buchholz, who came through the field to overtake Chalumpu. And wow, it really has been a fantastic race. It's been a pleasure to commentate on the race, and I cannot thank Jacob enough for allowing me the opportunity to commentate on this. It's been a brilliant race, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Michael Gray finishes 13th, and unfortunately we are at the end of the race now, so it's my time to wish you goodbye. But it's been a fantastic race, as I've said before. So I'm Liam Jenkins, and I'm sure I'll see you very soon for another fantastic endurance race. I'm pretty sure I've overused that word now, but well done to everyone, and it's just been a brilliant race showcasing what sim racing is all about. So congratulations to all the race winners and all who took part.